Welcome to Meet Me in the Penthouse. I am Amy, along here with my sister Molly. We help high achieving women increase their income, but most importantly, their impact. We are neighbors, sisters, and business partners. We have built 8-figure businesses together, traveled the world together, raised our children together, mentored thousands of men and women together. And it's all because we have a penthouse mindset. We aim for the top, and we show others how to empower themselves to peel back the layers and truly step into their greatness and calling. Welcome to Meet Me in the Penthouse.
Hi, everyone. This is Molly Kroeker. You get me today with my sister traveling. Now it's her turn to travel the world. And so I get to sit down with a dear friend from college. And her name is Kelly Brandon. She was Kelly Kleinschmidt back when I knew her. So sometimes I still refer to her that way. But welcome to Meet Me in the Penthouse. And you know, we're all about high performing women that not just want to increase their income, because quite honestly, everyone that we have on here already is flourishing in that area, but they want to increase their impact more importantly. So that's why I brought Kelly on, because she has done, she's done a 360 from who she showed up as when she worked with us at Sisters Next Door. But I want you to hear her story. And for those of you that are in that season of life where maybe you're just coming out of school and you're not really sure of what you want to do, Kelly knew, right? I think you knew you wanted to be an attorney, didn't you, Kelly?
I did,
At
yeah.
Wesleyan, when we met
hmm
at Nebraska Wesleyan, and you were playing
Nebraska Wesleyan.
volleyball.
Go NWU.
Go NWU, and you were a great athlete, and your brother was too. I mean, it just runs in the family.
It was a lot of fun. I really loved school there.
And did you go right into law school from Wesleyan?
I did after a summer of traveling in Europe.
Yay!
Backpacking. Yes,
You got to be irresponsible before phones and before your parents knew where you were located.
that is exactly right. We had a lot of fun.
How did you pay for that? Here I am, like bold and like, where was I when you were backpacking across Europe? And how did you ever pay for that?
Well, actually, I got done in 3.5 years. So my last semester, then I just kept bartending and saving up all my tips.
Oh my gosh. Of course you did. And of course you graduated in 3.5 years and then just continued. Were your parents like, what are you doing? You have a degree? Or were they like, keep tending bar? Like, or they don't care because it's
No,
your,
I think I started working pretty young at a local restaurant and I've just always worked, just for spending money. And, that's how we were raised. We worked really hard. So I just worked all through school. It helped me get through school. So, and I
okay,
really loved
wait,
bartending.
you worked and you played volleyball and you were pre-law?
Yes, I worked at Grisanti's in Lincoln for a
Oh
while.
my, oh gee, Grisantes.
Oh, gee,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What I would give for that chicken tetrazzini right now. It was so
yes,
good.
it was
And if
so
we were
good. And that
healthy,
garlic bread.
and if you were healthy, you asked for the garlic bread without butter.
Right,
I
exactly. I
mean,
never did that.
oh my gosh. I did it like in a very small phase where I was just eating naked noodles, with no sauce, but that wasn't a very fun phase. But Grisani's, you were probably rolling it in. I mean, that was an expensive place in college. So,
Yeah, it was fun. Then I ended up bartending downtown later. So yeah, I worked there. And then I was also a Kelly girl. Do you remember what Kelly girls were? They were
oh
temp
my,
girls.
they were what?
They were temp girls. So I would go in and, be a secretary for a week somewhere.
Oh my gosh. Of course you. Okay, so look at the growth mindset in this girl. She's like, and then I was a temp girl and I would show up here and I would do this and talk about growth mindset and just expect the unexpected. That was you. And you were a temp girl bartending, saved up your money, and then just said, I'm out of here. Like I'm starting law school in August, so I'm going to go travel.
We did with three friends and we had a ball. It was a really great eye-opening experience. We got to meet a lot of people from all over the place and, survive the lack of planning and hopping on trains and seeing some really beautiful countries. So I can't wait to go back with my husband, but yeah,
It'll be in a little different way. There won't be any hostels or perhaps a
exactly.
backpack even on this trip.
Right, exactly.
And did you ever have any scary stories? Is there,
Actually, yeah, Athens was a pretty scary place to be as a woman. And Andy Wallach was with me.
Oh my gosh. That is, and you know what? I was in Athens last year, and let me just tell you, it's not any better. I cried the whole time I was there because it was so awful. It was
Yeah,
24 hours too long. 24
yeah.
hours is enough in Athens.
When I was there, they just treated women a lot differently than I'm used to being treated. So it was a
Wow.
little scary. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just graffitied and smoky and gross now. So, but I love that you got to have that experience.
Yeah.
Is traveling like now with you having three daughters, and we're going to talk about law school and all the things that you've done to pivot, but was that important to you being a mom is to have your kids travel?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
being from small town Nebraska, people didn't do that in our day.
Yeah, I'm a proud farm girl. And my parents actually, we went every year, we either went skiing or to Kansas City to a Royals game. So, I mean, we got to go on some vacations, but yeah, we didn't, do any international travel or anything like that. But I loved our vacations. It was a really great time. We loaded up and went with a bunch of families and went skiing. And so it was a great time. But travel is one of my passions. And it is my girls as well. They've gone. Two of them have already gone overseas just by themselves and with another friend and road trips to the West Coast. And yeah, they definitely have the travel bug, and I think that will continue.
I love that. I'm right there with you. So I love that you paid for it on your own. That's huge.
Yeah.
So weren't waiting for a handout from your parents. Started law school, continued bartending.
hmm
Where did you go to law school? Did you know what you wanted to do? I mean, you knew you wanted to go to law school in undergrad, so you followed that dream.
I did. I went to Creighton Law School. And yeah, I bartended a little bar in Bellevue at the time, and that's how I met my husband. So it was good. Playing sand volleyball, volleyball, that's a
Of
big part of
course.
our lives. So yeah, Creighton was a great experience, but helped put myself through school with student loans and all of those things. But bartending was always fun, right? You always get to meet a bunch of people, but it really was good money to assist.
Yeah. And did you
Yeah.
come out of law school? Did you come out of Wesleyan with debt or law school with debt?
Law school. Yeah.
Okay. And married the love of your life.
I
And
did. I did. He's wonderful. His name's Mike, and he's a teacher and a volleyball coach. And yeah,
not just a volleyball coach, like one of the best volleyball coaches. Truly. I only hear the nicest things about your husband, and it's true. I've met him.
yeah, I'm very proud of him. I think he's a phenomenal coach, and he's touched a lot of lives and really has brought me great joy because I get to watch it.
Yeah.
But I also we have kind of this extended volleyball family throughout the state. So it's just really fun. It's always been fun.
And I love that because that's where you started too. So
Yeah.
busy attorney, loving the job that you were first in.
Yeah, well, originally I've had a really great career. I can't believe it'll be 30 years in
Oh
August
my
that I've been,
gosh.
yeah, 30 years. I got my first real law job, but I was a defense lawyer for half of my career, and I worked at several great defense firms doing, insurance defense, representing all kinds of companies or insureds, doctors, hospitals, truckers, real estate agents, whoever got sued
Yeah.
essentially
Yeah.
and who was insured. So, yeah, I met a lot of really great mentors along the way. Many of them have become judges. And then I started doing some employment work, which is what I do now, but on the other side. And I just realized that I was meant to be on the other side helping the little guy. And I went to law school originally because I wanted to help people. And not that I wasn't helping my clients on the defense side, I had great clients, but I just really felt a calling to move to the other side because I had a few plaintiffs' cases when I was on the defense side, and I just found myself really loving that work and being pulled into those cases and spending a lot of time on them. So, yeah, in 2010, I switched sides and it's been the greatest decision I ever made. It's been really challenging and I have had different twists and turns, but I love the work and I love the people that I do it with. We represent employees all over the state. We have offices in Iowa and Nebraska. So we have clients all over the place and we essentially defend workers' rights and prosecute cases of discrimination, harassment, retaliation, just the gamut. And really, our mission is to give people a voice that might not otherwise be able to use that voice. And a lot of these situations involve trauma and, the loss of a job or harassment or sexual assault. I mean, there's some pretty heavy stuff. And so we try and be good counselors, just as far as legal counselors go, and help them heal and try and bring some closure to their dispute. So, but it's really a mission to help change the world and make it a little bit better place for everyone because everyone deserves to be treated with respect. And I have three girls, and they're my why as to why I do this work. And I just want to make sure that their rights are protected and that the world is a better and safer place for them.
Oh my goodness. And that is a profound statement, but I'm sure it wasn't easy. Whenever we leave, and that's what we really focus on here is pivoting and
Uh,
doing it well. So leaving one side and going completely to the other side, was that easy and effortless, or was it like, whoa, what am I doing? I'm scared, I'm terrified.
exactly,
And
because
what helped you push through?
yeah, you have I mean, I had a nice income, solid salaried income, and when you move to the plaintiff side, a lot of our cases are on a contingency fee basis. So unless you win, you don't get paid. And so that was certainly scary, but I had great support to the firm that I went to originally, and then now my current firm. And I really, though, once I got on the other side, I thought, oh my gosh, this is a lot harder than I thought. When you have the burden of proof, it's just a lot more work. And so I actually went to a National Employment Lawyers Association conference and ended up meeting my current partner, Paige Vidler. So I was the only person there from Nebraska, and she walked over and said, "You look a little lonely," because she's from Iowa. "You look a little lonely. Why don't you join us for lunch?" So, and yeah, things just went from there. We started working as co-counsel on cases, and then I eventually joined her firm.
Isn't that neat that Paige saw that you were, you said find helping my plaintiffs or my clients find their voice, and here
Mhm.
Paige sought you out. So it's kind of that ripple effect again of that's what you do for other people, but somebody did it to you.
Oh, yeah,
They saw
absolutely.
you.
hmm Yeah, no, she's been phenomenal influence in my life, my career. She's one of my very good friends, and she's just a force to be reckoned with is in terms of a lawyer. She was just inducted into the Inner Circle of Advocates, which is quite an honor. And I believe she's the first employment lawyer to be invited. So she's just has really paved the way for a lot of people, including me and some of the people in our firm. So just very proud to be associated with her and to learn from her.
It sounds like you have some really good mentors that have been in your life. What do you think, thinking not only of Paige, but also the other ones that have come before her? What do you think? Is there something that stands out to you about being a mentor? Because I see you mentoring other women now, and that has to be something that you caught. So, is there something that stands out about each mentor, specifically about Paige, since she's your most current one?
Yeah, no, I think I have had so many mentors in my life. I've had a lot of really strong women from when I was a child, my aunts and my mom and my grandmothers. And just, I mean, I've just had a lot of really strong female influences that I think gave me confidence to do what I wanted to do. And I think all of those people, and certainly Paige included, they listen and they really try and not just, have a conversation, but actually listen to what your needs are. And that's what I try and do is really try and meet the person where they're at and then making decisions. And I've learned, to really, really, I think you make a decision, you have to trust yourself. And, you know, that is one of the things that I think any great mentor does is to have confidence, to trust in what you're doing, and just know that things are going to work out. And if they don't, it's obviously that's what was supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen for you, and you pivot and you move on and you use it to your advantage and you reframe. And so I think resilience is really probably the core of that anyone can teach to someone else.
I love that. And you've gone on to do that. I know your passion has been to really do that for other young female attorneys that are coming into this world of
Yeah.
full-time employment, juggling a family, husband, kids, all the things. And you do it so well. I know this past year has been a big one for you. Is there something that stands out for you that you feel like this is really what I've done? As you come into your 30th year of being an attorney,
Mhm.
what has made you really, I think to me, I've watched you have this explosive growth. Is there something that is behind that, or something that you started reading or thinking differently or feeling differently?
Well, I think, I mean, obviously, I did coaching with you all at Sisters Next Door. I think that that was extremely pivotal in just kind of, I guess, really kind of coming back to my center. And because I have always been a confident person, we've been successful, but just to really start to do the inner work to get to know yourself again after you talk about mentoring young women and young lawyers. Being a litigation attorney is really difficult, and it's hard to balance family and work. And when I was young, I was always feeling guilty because I was at work when I wanted to be at home. And then when I was at home, I felt guilty because I had all this work to do. And so I was just in this constant state of anxiety and kind of flux. And I think, I wish I had, probably learned from you a little bit sooner or read some of the things that I've read here recently a little bit sooner. But I think knowing that you can do it all, but you also have to take care of yourself and to not live in this constant state of anxiety or fear. And it is going to be fine. And you have to learn to trust yourself. And we went through, just a life-altering tragedy not too long ago. And that was right kind of when my girls were moving on and flying the nest. And so I think I just had to kind of learn to get to know who I was again as an individual and not just a mother and not just an attorney. And it's been just great as I move into, everybody, you turn 50 and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm 50. But I just feel so renewed. My birthday is tomorrow. I'll be
Oh,
55. So,
oh my gosh, happy birthday, double
yeah.
nipples. And I also feel that there is something powerful about 50. I remember when I turned 50, and it is powerful, but I think, what would I tell? I found myself yesterday at tennis, and I thought, as I watch these young moms, dragging their 2-year-olds to tennis, and the 2-year-olds
Mhm.
are crying, and I think, oh gosh, those are some things I would love to teach the younger generation. Like, you don't have to do it all. I remember
Right.
thinking, working full time, dragging the crying kid to tennis because it made me feel better since I wasn't there for a lot of it. And they're just
Mhm.
sobbing. And I think I would have not put my kids in tennis and all the things I did when they were 2 and 3. Like, I would have let them have fun and be kids. Is
Yeah.
there anything that you're like, this is what I would tell that young attorney? Do you have any words of wisdom for her or him?
Yeah,
Especially her. Let's just say her.
well, I mean, I think it goes both ways because a lot of men are taking care of their children more now as
Amen.
well and trying to balance that all with shared responsibilities. But I would say to really find your passion in the law and not just go through the motions because, you might have those golden handcuffs on in terms of what position you have, and find a place that is going to provide you the flexibility that you need to take care of your family, to take care of yourself. And also, because I did, I mean, I searched through that for a very long time. I mean, the first senior partner that I asked to work part-time, he said, honey, you either have to decide whether or not you want to practice law or be a mama. And I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to leave then because I want to be both. So I did.
Oh,
And
that's powerful, Kelly.
yeah. And so I moved on and I found a part-time position, which was kind of unheard of during that time period, like if you wanted to do litigation. And yeah, so I worked part-time at a couple of different firms. And then when my kids got into school, then I went back full-time. So I think you just really have to know your worth and, not put so much pressure on yourself to be phenomenal at everything that you do all the time. Trust your intuition, trust your gut, and you're gonna make mistakes because practicing law is stressful, right? I mean, especially litigation, if you make a mistake, you might get sued for malpractice and all of those things, but it works out and it always does. And you have to trust yourself. I think that's really my main advice is to trust yourself and to really enjoy what you're doing. And if you don't, find something else, find something else to do and pursue your passion.
Which I love that you back then said that I'm going to find something else and I'm moving on, because there's always another open door. It's more is coming. And we always say that on our coaching calls, like more is coming, hashtag more is coming. And
Mhm.
so as we part ways here and we really know who you are and what you're all about, we always say you live in the penthouse. So meet me in the penthouse. So when I say, what is the penthouse to you, Kelly? What would you describe as the penthouse to you when I say living in the penthouse?
I would say living in the penthouse is really surrounding yourself with a community of like-minded women, men, whoever you have that connection with. Because when you surround yourself with those people, and I've been so blessed to help build the culture that we have at our firm here, I feel like we are like-minded individuals that want to serve others and are grateful for what we have. And, Sisters Next Door has been really pivotal, I think, in kind of bringing me back to that and trusting myself and continuing to build on that. So I think trusting yourself, surrounding yourself with people that raise your energy, raise your gratitude levels is just that's what I really, really love about Sisters Next Door and the work that we've done and the people that I've met. I mean, I've met just some phenomenal women through your program. And I have always been surrounded by phenomenal women, but I know more now. So
Yeah.
it's just continuing to grow and learn and love yourself and serve others.
And I feel like I know you're doing that so well and you've really changed. I know Paige has created this culture, but I feel like you came in and enhanced it. So that's what I love. If you are a young attorney, where can they find you, Kelly? Because I feel like that is your gift, is just mentoring those incredible women. So where can they find you? How do they find you?
Yeah, the name of the firm is Fiddler Law, and our office is out in West Omaha. So yeah, just look us up on the web, and you can call me at any time. We're all busy people, but I always like to make time for, people that need advice because I certainly did. And I had great mentors that gave it to me and gave me
Well,
the support that I needed.
you were open to receive, and that's a huge part of this. So I'm just so grateful for getting the word out about just pivoting and pursuing your passion. And you've done that well. And I just see you mentoring this next generation of female attorneys, and I love how well you do it. And you love people well. So you're just carrying on that legacy that Paige initiated. And we're just so grateful that you shared with us. And if you're looking for ways to support us, obviously like and review and share and give us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify. Much better on Apple if you can. And we are at www.sistersnextdoor.com. We always have programs out there. We have digital programs as well. And we just love serving people. So thank you so much, Kelly, for serving us and all of our friends listening out there. And now you know how to find Kelly. So look her up. She's amazing and she is fierce. So I love you so much, Kelly. Thank you so much for blessing us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
Thank you.
Hey guys, we'd love to have you join our waitlist for our class of You from the Top. There are going to be incredible women who are making incredible, decisive, clear decisions. The energy is fabulous. The view from the top is fabulous. And there's room for you at the top. Go to sistersnextdoor.com and join our waitlist.